Hey, what is going on guys, it's Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're having a look at my top formation in Rise to War. So if you guys do enjoy this video, then please do drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So to start this video off, some of you guys may already have seen a little summary of my top formation in Umbra TV's video, where we basically had a bunch of Rise to War content creators come together and we each submitted a video just about a minute in length describing our main formations. So that was a pretty nice initiative on Umbra's part, so props to him for that, as well as to all the other content creators that came together to make the video possible. And yeah, I've decided now to actually go in depth and show you guys my formation, the gear I'm running, the skills I'm running, all of that stuff, as well as, you know, the reasons behind why I'm running, who I'm running in my formation. So yeah, let's go and head over to my commanders. So my main formation is Galadriel, Gimli, Gandalf the Grey, and Aragorn too. And first off, you're going to notice that I'm not running the meta formation. So for good side in roleplay, because obviously it's probably a little bit different in non-roleplay campaigns where you maybe have a evil commander added in, but in roleplay campaigns the meta is basically Dane Ironfoot because he's insane, Beorn, and then two other comms, usually a Gandalf the White and, you know, usually another Dwarven commander, because Dwarves are pretty solid damage dealers. So that is the main meta right now, right? Especially Beorn and Dane. They're in every formation. Gandalf the White quite a lot as well. But I'm not running that for a couple of reasons. The main reason, and probably the biggest reason, is I don't have those commanders. So if we had to scroll down, right, we can see I do have a Dania, but he is respect level 0. So running a respect 0 Dane means I'm not going to have a lot of skill points, and half his abilities are locked. That is the main reason I don't run a Dane. And if where is the rest? Oh, are they still locked? Can we find you, Beorn? There we go. Yeah, Beorn we don't even have unlocked yet. So that is some pretty big factors affecting us using, you know, the meta commanders. That, and the second reason, it's not as big a reason as, you know, just not having the commander available, but the second reason is because I really love certain commanders. Like Galadriel is one of my favorite commanders. Even if she probably is not the best damage dealer or something, I would still run her. Even if let's say Arwen was a way better focused damage dealer and everyone ran her over Galadriel, I would probably still run Galadriel just because I do like Galadriel a lot, but then again also like Arwen, so maybe I would run Arwen, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? I like Galadriel and I run her because she's pretty decent and because I like her a lot. Same with Gimli. I absolutely love Gimli. He's one of my favorite characters. I used him all through the 1.0 version of the game, so if you guys have watched my older campaigns and stuff, you will have, you know, seen me running Gimli. Well, that time there wasn't formations, but you would have seen me running him as one of my main commanders all the time. And, you know, I had his unique and I had it strengthened, and it was just, you know, and he was an amazing commander. He had an awesome unique and he was able to pretty much tackle any commander that he went up against. So yeah, I really love Gimli as a commander. That's what made me, you know, continue using him through into 2.0 of Rise to War. That's, and obviously the fact that I had him at really high respect level. So before 2.0 happened, I think he was like respect level 18 or something. And yeah, now obviously I'm trying to... Wait, where is it? The ascension thingy? Oh, wait, it's not there. It's back here, right? Yeah, and now obviously I'm trying to ascend him. Sorry about that. So yeah, now I'm just saving up a Dane respect because yay, we have to do that. Save that up along with his own respect items, and then we can ascend him and make him mythic. So that would be pretty nice. Now, for Gandalf the Grey, we have Gandalf because he's always been a very popular support commander, you know, who's been very good. In 1.0, you know, running Gandalf was always a good option. You know, you could never go wrong running Gandalf the Grey because if you played evil, you know, he had amazing, like, focus damage reduction, burn damage reduction, as well as, you know, just damage reduction in general. And going up against, if you didn't know what commander you're going up against and you just threw your Gandalf the Grey in, chances are you would come out just fine because he was so good against so many commanders. So because of that, I ended up building him in the end. I actually didn't have him for quite a long time, but I did end up bullying him in the end, and that carried over then into 2.0. Now, Aragorn 2, I never really ran, I think, in 1.0. And I'm pretty sure I was running, I was rather running like Haldir and Arwen, and I was running other commons. I don't think I ever really touched Aragorn 2 or King of Men, because I didn't have Aragorn King of Men, but I never really used him in 1.0, but then coming into 2.0, I was looking for a fourth, commander for my formation, because I already had Galadriel and I had Gimli, and then I had Gandalf the Grey, who was the only one running an army build. These other two were just commander damage. And then I was looking for a third commander damage, because, commander damage was the go-to, so it was outperforming army damage by quite a lot at the time. And so I decided to settle on Aragorn 2. I broke down like all the respect on my poor Arwen, because wait, where is she? How do I keep losing my commanders like this? There we go. I broke down Arwen's respect. She used to be max respect, her and Haldir actually. So I broke down their respect, and I just poured it all into Aragorn 2. And now that I maxed him out, I have him as the fourth commander basically for my formation. Not the happiest with his performance. He's definitely the lowest performing commander from this formation. He always consistently does the least amount of damage compared to Galadriel and Gimli. He's on par with Gandalf the Grey's damage, but that's all right, because Gandalf is not focused on army, army damage. He also, buffs my other formations, so that's all right. But Aragorn 2 is the fourth edition. Like him as a character, obviously, he does perform the worst from my three commander damage dealers, but it's all right. Because obviously my gear is also not equal between all my commanders. So now anyway, we've talked about why we have each commander in this formation. Let's go over their gear and skills. So Galadriel, as you can see, we have, well, before this, if you've seen my last season or anything, her gear was not this good. We basically broke down some of Gimli's legendary gear as well as Gandalf the Grey's legendary gear, and we put it all into Galadriel. So right now she's sitting at 252 focus, which is really nice. 42 to 43 damage. If we look at her gear, we're running an obsidian dagger with Law of the Arcane. We have two of them, and that gives us the 5% more focus damage buff. Then we have a Grey Wizard hat and a Fine Smoking Pipe. Both of these are evasive action. Unfortunately, that doesn't help. It doesn't actually do anything in terms of the equipment buff, I would say. So no equipment buff on them, but they both have an insane amount of focus, which is why we run them. And obviously the Fine Smoking Pipe gives more commander damage, which is just great. Obsidian Dagger and Elven Cloak also both do a lot of focus. Elven Cloak doesn't do the most. It's only plus 24, but I'm honestly not sure if there is another legendary piece that does more focus. So for now, that's what we're going to be running on her. In terms of skills, this is what we always run. So we run Mistress from Magic. We max that out. Then afterwards, we max out Lady of Lorien. Those are her 2 damage skills, and we max both of them out for the most possible damage. And then afterwards, we either run Scholar of the Occult or Nenya's Guardian. Both of them are healing. One procs every second round, which is Nenya's Guardian, and one procs every single round, but it only affects 1 unit. So Scholar of the Occult procs every single round, but only affects 1 unit. The effect is modified by focus. Nenya's Guardian procs every second round, and it affects 2 units, and the effect is also modified by a focus stat. So I'm not actually sure which is a better healing skill. If anyone who has experience with Galadriel can tell me, is it better to run Nenya's Guardian or is it better to run Scholar of the Occult? That would be very helpful. Sorry about that, guys. So let me know, should I be running Scholar of the Occult or should I be running Nenya's Guardian? Next up, we go over to Gimli. Gimli, as you can see, he's got some decent gear. So he's the second person with the what should I say? The weapon legendary. So my first main weapon legendary went to Galadriel, obviously, and we strengthened that fully. And all the spare stuff has come over to Gimli. So he has the Axe of Khazad-dûm, which gives good amount of commander damage as well as commander attack. We have the Scale Mail, and unfortunately we just don't have a better legendary in terms of having one with better stats or having enough legendary items to actually, give him a nicely strengthened one. So instead we run this scale mail, which gives a decent amount of commander attack. And the equipment buff on all his gear is Sharp Blade, which is plus 20 attacks. That's pretty decent. Here we have the Case of Pride. So this gives a solid amount of commander attack. And yeah, it's not strengthened, obviously, as you can see, but basically we just put the spare legendaries that we had left over after doing Galadriel's Grey Wizard hats. So that's all going into Gimli now. And any new legendary helmets we get, we will also put into him. Yeah, we have the Worn Out Smoking Pipe because it does give some commander attack. I haven't really found anything else that I can put on him. So in terms of legendary gear, you can see I have some on Theoden, and this is my Cav formation is my secondary formation, right? Which is why we're not talking about it this video, but that also means I would be willing to take all their legendary stuff that we have on them, and we would be willing to move it on to Gimli. But I just don't have a legendary artifact or accessory that is actually better, that actually gives a good amount of commander attack. So because of that, we're running a purple. Best purple would actually be one of these, but unfortunately we don't have this with a Sharp Blade. And yeah, I don't want to lose my equipment set bonus, so for now we're going to leave it as is. In terms of skills, we run Experienced Warrior, max that out first, followed by Durin's Blood second, and then we go for Lord of the Glittering Caves third. That being said, I have seen some people instead run Experienced Warrior maxed out, then Lord of the Glittering Caves, and then extra points into Durin's Blood. And I've also seen a couple guys running Durin's Blood and Lord of the Glittering Caves maxed out and only putting their extra points into Experienced Warrior. So let me know, which one do you run? Which set of skills do you run on Gimli? Do you do what I do, Experienced Warrior, Durin's Blood maxed out, extra points into Lord of the Glittering Caves, or do you do a different skill set? Next up, we have Gandalf the Grey. So obviously I said he is the only commander here that does army damage. So for him, obviously all our gear is suited to unit attack. And obviously there is probably legendary stuff that give better unit attack, but we literally have this. This gives 16 unit attack, and this is not even strengthened. But yeah, we trying to keep his set bonus alive, which is Sharp Blade, and we don't have, we won't have a full set of flay gear or anything for him. So for now, we run Merc with Bow, which is solid, plus 18 unit attack. Then we have the Ranger's Shroud, which gives a lot of unit attack as well. It's also on Sharp Blade, so that's nice. It used to be fully strengthened, but we obviously went and gave this Elven Cloak to Galadriel, so we broke down the Ranger's Shroud and we only put the spare gear back into it for Gandalf the Grey. Then we have the Trapper's Hood, which is also plus 18 unit attack, and then we have the Wizard Fireworks, which is another 18 unit attack. So we have some decent gear for him that also shares the set bonus, which is nice. And I also find that there's probably better purple gear that buffs unit attack than there is purple gear that buffs commander attack, which is also why I've given him more of the purple gear. Next up, for his skills, we run Mithrandir maxed out first off, because this first 4 rounds command formation has 60% chance to gain dual blows, which basically means double attack. So being able to attack twice per turn is insane for 4 rounds. And then when you upgrade it further, it then does it for 5. And then you also gain initiative, which means you attack first. So really lovely skill. We maxed out Mithrandir first, then we maxed out Wide Council. As I said, him having slightly lower damage is fine because he buffs all four commanders in our formation and allows them to take reduced damage for the first couple of hits. Then after that, we don't go for Wizard because we haven't focused any of our gear on actually upgrading his focus and his focus damage. So instead, we put the remaining into the Grey to get some healing done instead. Next up, we have Aragorn. So Aragorn 2, he's also meant to have full commander damage, but as you can see, his attack is only 96. So Gimli's is 150, yeah. His is 96, and that's honestly just because we try to give him the best possible gear we could, but we didn't really have great gear left over. And we also tried to maintain the set bonus on him because even if I tried to get like maybe another 20 attack or 15 attack or something on him, maybe we would be able to do it, but it honestly wouldn't be worth trying to get, that extra 10 or 20 attack and give up the set bonus, because set bonus is pretty nice. There's 20% more damage for 3 rounds. So I feel like that's just better. So in terms of gear, we just run what we can on him, what we have spare and what is okay. So we have the Elven Dirk, we have Scale Mail, we have Full Helm, which is actually a pretty solid purple headpiece for commander damage, and it's what we wanted to run on Gimli until we found that Case Cup Pride. And then we have the Harp of Lothlorien, gives no commander attack, but it maintains the set bonus, which is the only reason we run it. In terms of skills, so this is very cut and dry. We run Anduril maxed out, then we run Strider maxed out, and then, well, we can't go Hidden Air because this will increase the attack of Manish units in 3 allied formations, and most of the time the allied commanders in his formation are not running Manish units. So instead we put our extra points into Dunedain Chieftain, which increases the defense of 3 allied formations, not specifically of a certain race of units. So yeah, Anduril maxed out, Strider maxed out for damage, and extra points into Dunedain Chieftain because it's the only thing that would actually affect our other formations. So yeah, that is my main formation, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.